In March of 2022, Marissa Teetsort was charged with the unaliving of a 2-month-old boy that was left in her care. In October of 2018, Benson Jong's mother picked him up from his babysitter's house. After picking the baby up from the sitter, Benson's mother, Heather Lynn Gardner, went back to the laundromat with her sister, and it was here that she noticed that Benson was cold to the touch and that he was not responsive. They immediately called 911, and the operator walked Heather through CPR until the officers arrived on scene. Once help arrived, they did try to perform life-saving measures on Benson, but unfortunately, he never woke up. While they were speaking with the officers, Heather's sister told them that she did message Marissa Teetsort and she did accuse her of unaliving her sister's baby, but that she did not see if she had read the message or not, and that she did not get a response. Heather stated that when they went to pick up the baby, Marissa just met them out the door. She didn't invite them in or anything. She just handed them the car seat. They went on their way, and that she didn't check on the baby or anything until they got to the laundry room, and she realized that he was cold. He was wearing a snowsuit and a cap, and when she was taking it off, she realized that he felt cold and hard to the touch, and that his lips were just seemed like they were really tight, and that the snow cap was over his eyes. This was enough information for officers to obtain an arrest warrant for Marissa, and they went to her apartment, and they did not find her or her boyfriend Adam Borchardt there, but they did trace her phone to a hotel, and they did find them there. Upon arriving at the hotel, her boyfriend Adam was like, "What are you guys doing here? You already charged her." And Officer Stoltz was like, "Well, this is for something new, because keep in mind, Marissa already had a child charge against her." At the hotel, they find Marissa sleeping, and Adam is just kind of fighting with the officers. They're both kind of acting like they don't know what happened, and that they're under the impression that the officers are there because of the previous child case against Marissa. While being questioned by police, Melissa states that she had put Benson in a pack and play in her bedroom, and that as far as she knew, everything was normal. She had a monitor on him, and the monitor was not telling her if he that he was crying or anything, and he wasn't making any noise, and he was just in there. So she just didn't check on him because this monitor was $100. Like, she just keeps bringing it up, like, well, the monitor this, the monitor that, and just laughing inappropriately. And the officers were like, "Well, Benson is unalived, that's why we're here." And she's like, "No, how did that happen?" And, just being disingenuous, like, no tears in her eyes, just squinting a lot and pretending to cry. And they tell her, "Well, Heather's sister texted you. You already knew about this." And Marissa lies and says that her phone was off. And they're like, "Your phone wasn't off because we used your phone to trace you back to the hotel." And, Marissa keeps up with the crying and the disbelief. And, she says that everything was normal. They went to McDonald's. Everything was fine. And then Adam is saying that he took Benson out of the car and into McDonald's, and he was whining during this time while he was carrying him in his car seat, and he didn't see that anything was wrong. And then the CCTV footage shows them at McDonald's, and at the time Benson was already unalived while they were in there getting food, and they actually sat down to eat. Marissa states that Adam didn't know anything about the baby being unalived at this point. The officers finally get Marissa to admit that she did know that the baby was unalived. But she says that she walked in to the room where he was in the pack and play, that it was there that she found Benson face down in the pack and play and unalived. Said that it was an accident because she laid the baby down on his stomach, and then when she found him, he had his face down in the mattress, and that the reason she didn't call 911 was because her boyfriend was at home and she didn't want to have her baby taken away. Mind you, she already had all her other kids taken away, and 2 separate instances of child abuse allegations against her and an open case. She also stated that Adam did not know anything about the baby being unalived when they took him to McDonald's, which is weird because he said that the baby was whining when he pulled him out of the car. She said that she just put his snowsuit back on and his snow cap and handed him back to his mom. And she said, you know, I of course I knew she was going to find out, but like, I don't know. I didn't want to get in any trouble. An autopsy would later reveal that Benson actually passed due to blunt head force trauma. And Marissa would later admit that this was because she got frustrated and threw him into the pack and play. She received 40 years in prison, 37 years for the unaliving of Benson Xiong, and then 3 years for hurting an 11-month-old baby girl who was in her care. So that is the story of Marissa the Monster. And that is the reason why I will not let anybody other than my family and my 2 closest friends watch my baby, because people are so sick, they're so twisted. Nothing that can be done to this woman would be enough. Like, not one thing. It would just not be enough to punish her for what she did. I know that some people are like, well, she had a rough childhood, you know. That's not an excuse for being a terrible human being. It's not an excuse for hurting children, ever. But yeah, that's the story. And comment your thoughts down below. I will see you guys, you know, hopefully next week with a new true crime story. I haven't done any in like a month. This is my first one. So I'm going to try to be more consistent. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great weekend and you stay safe.